Go ahead and get started. Here with Talia Staude today. I guess just to start, can you give your initial thoughts on this weekend's match?
Yeah, I would just say that we know that every game's important and our focus is just on the next game ahead. And I think that we've had some good performances in the last couple games. And so we really just want to carry our momentum coming into this next game and leave a good foot into going into the break.
Perfect. And kind of on that note, the team enters the weekend fresh off back-to-back wins. What is the key to carrying that momentum that you talked about into tomorrow and as you head into the midseason break?
Yeah, I think it's really important to carry that momentum. And I think we're going to do that by sticking to our principles and like the way that we play and how the courage plays. And so I think really relying on those foundations that we set for ourselves.
Perfect. And then I'll turn it over to Zoom if there's any questions.
Hey, Natalia.
Hi.
I was just wondering, when you go into stadiums like Angel City that are bigger and louder and also kind of seeing Wake Met a little bit, how does communication work between the back line? Do you guys have different tricks that you use, or do you just rely on your training and you're just playing together and getting to know each other more?
Yeah, I definitely. I think that, in practice, we've worked a lot on communication, especially this week. And I think just looking at each other constantly and like looking at our hand cues, and kind of just building that relationship we have with one another, really helps as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Perfect. If there's no other questions, we will take a quick pause before head coach Mackland. Hey, we are here with head coach Mackland. Can we just start off with your initial thoughts going into the weekend's match?
Yeah, good feelings. I mean, we come from a period where we have two wins in a row, good performances overall. Looking forward to play this away game. It's going to be a tough and nice game. So for a period where we come into a break, we feel that the performance are good and the yeah. So right now we just need to take this last game and take those points and go on a break with a good feeling.
And your entering this weekend on the back of back-to-back matches, what's the key to carrying that momentum into the first West Coast trip of the year?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this trip that in general is very hard with this West Coast trip, and I felt that the trip has been pretty smooth. We had a good training session here today, have prepared for the game, so the emotions are good, and it will be important tomorrow that we show energy, very forward-leaning, and are brave in the way we play. It doesn't matter if we're at home or away. We need to be brave in the way we want to play our game.
And then we'll turn it to questions on Zoom.
Hi, Mac. It's Katie with the Lions Pitch.
Hey.
I had asked Natalia about communication going into a larger stadium that tends to get pretty loud, and then now at Wake Med with the sellouts and it being loud. How, as a head coach, do you communicate with the team in those type of situations? Is there just kind of waiting for stoppage in plays, or are you actively on the sidelines trying to point stuff out and communicate?
That's a good question. I was this close to say I have a dream, but I believe in developing players and educate them in the way we want to play, so they can help each other on the pitch. So you see my players communicate a lot with each other during the game. They are closer to see what's happening. What we're doing, we work with a principle-based focus, so they can solve the solutions by themselves. And of course, we're not there in the process yet, but I trust my players, and when they when I can't communicate with them, they can communicate with each other because they know the principles, they know how we want to play, how we solve difficult situations, and we work with that day in, day out in our environment. But of course, when there are breaks, we use that in a smart way by making sure we get the info they need because we have pictures, we have analytics with a good bird eye perspective. So try to help them as much as possible. But when you play in bigger stadiums, it is harder for sure. They will need to trust themselves and the way we want to play our game with the principles we have.
And how, going into this last game before the international World Cup hiatus that we have, how do you try and keep the momentum from these last two games into this game and then coming out of the break in 4 weeks with keeping everything like aligned and together?
Yeah, I mean, breaks normally can come in a good timing and a bad timing. I feel right now we have 2 games in a row where we win and 6 points. We have now our last game before the break. I feel like we have a good performances and finding something good. But with this process, everything we are doing, we need time, and I will take this break and try to use it in a best possible way. We need more time on the pitch with each other. Now we have a couple of players going to national team. They will be missed, of course, in the environment. But with the players that are still in the environment, we need to continue this process and develop the way we want to play. So the break maybe is a good timing right now, even if we feel like we have a good form and good performances and win games. So we need this break and continue building what we're doing.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.